this section is mainly for people don't actually seem to know where to really start from or how to even creating a YouTube channel. So this topic is just mainly a slide through of the steps you actually go through create your channel. So let's go through the slides first, and then I would actually share my screen again and then show you how I'm going to create a YouTube channel. Okay, so I mean, the first thing is what you just need to do to create your first YouTube channel is to go to www.youtube.com, and there where you actually see on the right hand side you see a sign in, log in with your Gmail account, and that's going to enable you to actually log in and start the process of creating a YouTube channel. This picture here actually shows you, this is like, the first sort of picture you're actually going to see when you go to youtube.com. And you log in, you put in your Gmail account and you log in and, you enter your login details. The next thing is once you actually log in with your Gmail account, okay, what's the next thing you actually want to do? Now, the main focus is the minute you actually log in, you actually want to customize your channels, okay? And the four things that we're actually going to be looking at is the layout, the branding, the basic info, all these settings that we need to actually make sure that we customize it. And also let's not actually forget, optimize, your channel so that when people are searching, because let's be frank about it, when you create a video and for the very first time and you've got no subscribers, who do you think is actually going to watch those videos? You think YouTube is automatically going to just put your videos out there and say, hey guys, let's watch this person's video? It doesn't work like that. What's the very first thing you're actually going to do? You probably have to share your videos or whatever, to your friends and families, so you get that traction, so that YouTube actually recognizes and says, oh, hold on a second, there's a new kid on the block. There's a new channel. Let's keep an eye on that channel and let's see those people that are initially watching it. Let's see whether they actually enjoy it. And then YouTube actually gives it a helping hand by sending what they call your impressions or thumbnails to some other people, so that when they see that thumbnail, they're like, okay, this is something interesting. Let me click and let me watch it. Okay, but we'll get to that all in a minute. Anyway, the minute you actually log into YouTube, you would actually hit on that, the circular V button, and which is called the profile, picture. And basically a drop down would actually come down and says, okay, what do you want to do? So you have create a channel, paid memberships, YouTube studios, everything else. What you do is you click on the create a channel button. And then what happens is you get this whole screen which says, okay, let's get started. And then you click on the get started button. And then it says, choose how to create a channel. Do you want to create a channel with your name? So what this actually means is your Gmail account, the name you've given that Gmail account, is that the name you actually want to use to create your channel? Or do you want to call it something else? And that's what use a custom name is. So when we actually say, okay, we want to create like a business account or a branding account, we say we want to select something else. But if you want to use your name, you actually basically select, use your name. Okay. And then what happens is you get all these other details here where it says, upload the profile picture, put in the description for your channel, and then put in the links to your social media handles on the channel. At this stage, what I normally do is I don't actually fill out this information now. I actually leave it to later. So I actually basically say setup. I click on the setup button, setup later button, to actually get me familiar with the whole interface of YouTube. Okay, so when I click on, setup later, this is the interface I actually get. This is YouTube now. You've now created your YouTube channel. And what's next? What next do we actually do? We need to customize it. And as I mentioned previously, customizing means that we need to make sure we can actually, when someone comes to your channel, what's the very first thing they want to look at? Or when they find your video, what's the very first thing they actually want to look at? It's like, is there a about me video? that tells me more about this person. If I want to contact this person, what information is actually available? And also, there's certain things you actually put in the channel description whereby you tell YouTube that this is what my channel is all about. Because to be honest with you, YouTube is actually a computer. YouTube needs to know what your channel is about. It needs to put you in a category whereby it says, okay, are you a sports channel? Are you a makeup beauty channel? A technology channel? What defines you? So that when we're trying to share or when we're trying to promote your channel to so-called subscribers, we know the set of subscribers we're actually going to push that information to. One thing you've got to realize is with YouTube, YouTube categorizes subscribers in types. So you've got like, for example, you've got like a BB Niger type audience. So whenever someone releases a video of BB Niger or whatever, you actually automatically, YouTube knows where to actually send that content to. YouTube doesn't send it to everybody. You need to actually customize your channel. Okay. Now, how do we do that? Okay, when you click on the customize button, you actually get all these sort of, features coming up. The very first one is channel trailer to people who haven't subscribed. Okay. Now, this is very important because when you're starting off new, you need to create this introductory video. Without this introductory video, people are just gonna watch your video and say, well, okay, I like this person's personality, but what are they really about? I mean, Glory's got an introductory video whereby she tells the whole world what exactly she actually does on her channel. That's the kind of, introductory video you actually have to do first. And how do you make that visible to your users when they actually come onto your channel? That red square button, that's what you click on. So you click on add and you add that introductory video on your platform. What next do we need to do? We need to make sure we update our profile picture. Why is it important we actually update our profile picture? Well, some people like to put a face. When someone actually searches for my channel, oh, what is it? Frankly speaking, with Glory. When I do a search with Frankly Speaking on Glory on YouTube, I can actually see, who she is straight away, because her profile picture would actually come up. So it's very important, whether it's a personal picture or whether it's a business sort of logo, just make sure that that's actually updated. And you click on the upload button to actually upload your personal profile picture or your business logo, and that's actually how it actually gets saved. The next thing you actually do is your channel ads. Now, your channel ads tells people when they actually come to the channel, users are actually very, very different. Some people don't actually want to watch an introductory video. Some go to the channel, and basically just look and say, oh, okay, hold on a second. What does this person actually do? So from that channel ads, they can actually see that, oh, this channel, they do reviews, they do social issues, and they actually upload daily. Oh, or they upload weekly. So you're actually you're giving that subscriber that information, at first hand, that this is what my channel is all about. And the last thing we actually do is we do the updates, your video watermark. So, I mean, some people actually do it, some people don't actually do it, but it's another additional step to branding your channel. And what this video watermark is whenever your video is coming up and it says subscribe, that red button at the very corner that comes up and says subscribe to my channel with the red box which says subscribe, you can actually customize that. You can actually put your logo. The next step is we now move on to the basic information. Okay, in the basic information, we are actually going to write a channel description. This bit is actually very, very important, this channel description. The reason why is this information actually, Google actually, or YouTube, they actually gather this information and they say, what is your channel all about? So in this area, you need to describe your channel as much as possible, what you do, what you are, how it's actually all related, you know, and this is where SEO all comes into. I don't know whether most people even know about SEO. SEO is a kind of way of optimizing your channel whereby you tell a computer to say, when someone is actually searching on a particular keyword or something like that, you want your channel to be identified as part of that search. And this is where all that information, when you put all that information in your channel description, it actually helps Google to actually identify your channel. It helps Google or YouTube to basically send content that you've created to potential subscribers. The channel description is very, very important you actually fill it out. The next bit is add links. Okay. Now, the add links is okay, you've got a YouTube channel, but what other social media platforms are you connected on? This is where you actually add your Instagram handle, your Twitter account handle, a website if you've got one, Pinterest. I think you're allowed up to four, either 4 or 5, social media handle you can actually, put in the add link section. At least if someone wants to connect to you or even try to share your videos on Facebook or whatever, they've got a link. They can refer their friends like, oh, look at this person's, Facebook, page, you're giving them that information straight away. You're making it easy for users. And the next thing is an email address in the contact info section. Now you put an email address, people can automatically send you an email with regards to anything. Now, all these things are also important, like when you become a brand, because trust me, you're not going to be chasing people. When you hit that, 1 million subscribers, you're not going to be chasing people to, you see, when someone's writing on your comment section, oh, what's your email address? You're not going to be responding probably, you might respond, you might not, but trust me, at 1 million subscribers, there's going to be so many comments, and you probably won't even get through all those comments. Yeah, so all this information is actually necessary. Set it up once, forget it, and move on. Okay. Other customizations. So now, do you actually want to change the currency of your channel? So when that monetization, when it kicks in and you start making money, what do you want YouTube to be paying you in? Is it going to be dollars? Most people just leave it at dollars anyway. Further down, you click on channel. What else have you got? So you add your country of residence. Where are you from? Nigeria. Very simple. Keywords. Now, keywords is actually very important. It goes back to what I was actually talking about, channel description, whereby, you want YouTube to actually identify your channel. And these keywords would actually help YouTube to actually identify your channel. I mean, let's take beauty YouTube channel, for instance. What do you put as keywords on the channel's beauty? Well, you could do makeup. You can actually put makeup as a keyword. You can put beauty and makeup. Those kind of sort of like things you think people would actually search on. Makeup tutorials, hair, those kind of things which are related to beauty. But remember though, when you're starting off your YouTube channel, always have a niche. A niche is very important, because if you generalize things, one thing you notice is with YouTube, the minute you generalize on a topic, it becomes so overwhelming. YouTube doesn't even know where to actually send your content to. So like something like beauty, you can actually further down drill and say, okay, I want to specialize on just nails, or I want to specialize on just makeup, or I want to specialize on just manicure and pedicure. Hey, there's you can further it down and niche it, zone it, and basically say this is what I want to specialize in. Before I actually then, when my subscribers are actually growing, I can actually move into other things. Okay. So for the advanced settings, YouTube, I think, recently brought out the settings out whereby they said, you need to notify YouTube and tell them whether your videos are made for kids or not. If they're made for kids, you need to make sure that they're actually aware. If they're not, you basically select the button that tells YouTube that they're not aware, they're not made for kids. And to be honest with you, this is all down to monetization. It actually affects, what content they actually monetize if you actually say that your videos are made for kids. Okay. The problem is if your videos are actually made for kids and you do click no, it's not made for kids, and YouTube actually finds out, because trust me, YouTube would actually find out. Don't think YouTube would not actually find out. There might be consequences after that, So make sure you actually put in the right option initially so that there's no issues, when you're uploading your videos. The next thing is, if you're just starting out, just trying to gain those subscribers, there's that button there where you can display your subscriber count, or you can, untick it so that, people don't know how many subscribers you've currently got. The next thing we are going to talk about is feature eligibility. What happens is there's this option where you have to enable, okay? And in order for you to enable it, you need a phone number, because you need to call this number. YouTube is going to give you some sort of code or whatever, to enable these three features. And these three features are custom thumbnail. Now, you want to make sure you actually have a custom thumbnail. Very, very important. You have a custom thumbnail. Okay. The next thing is live streaming. It helps with watch hours doing live streams. So yet again, another important feature. And enable videos over 15 minutes. So if you're doing just videos, which is like 30 minutes, I wouldn't really recommend, as a startup to do a video over, 30 minutes. But if you are, then you have to enable this feature. Yeah. Okay. So these three things, these three options, custom thumbnail, live streaming, videos over 15 minutes, in order to actually make sure that you can actually use those features, you need to click on that button highlighted in red. And in order for you to actually go ahead and actually enable those features, you need a phone number where YouTube actually says, okay, you know what, give us this card. We're going to call you and we're going to give you some codes so that we know that you are human, and we know that these features are now going to be enabled on your account. Uploading your first video. How important is that? Very, very important. I'm sure Glory actually touched up on this briefly. Make sure that all your contents are original. You want to make sure that whenever you're actually, doing your videos, it's all about yourself. If you're actually putting in pictures, it doesn't really, matter that much. But when you start putting other people contents into your videos, you need to make sure that you've got the permission to do that. Yeah. Otherwise, if you don't, then you're likely to get either a copyright strike on that video, if that person is really tough on people not using their videos on YouTube, or you might get something Glory mentioned in the past called a copyright claim. Now, copyright claim is like a sort of soft version of copyright strike, whereby even though your video is not even monetized, the content creator who originally owns that video, they will actually basically be making money off that content, even though you're getting the views. Yeah. But you know what? It's the price you pay for using the videos. So it's either you use your own videos and then, make sure that, whatever clips you're taking, you've got permissions from them. And if not, then there's always consequences. So the second point says, if you accidentally take a video from somewhere else, you might get a copyright strike on that video. Very true. The third point is use YouTube audio library for all your background audio clips. These are copyright free. So when you're doing a vlog, you're actually putting in, background music. Just go to the audio library. Download the audio files from the YouTube audio library. It's one of the life-saving features of YouTube, and you're constantly not getting all these copyright strikes or copyright claims. Just use something from YouTube where YouTube is actually giving it to you for free. you know. So, and also the last point is 3 copyright strikes and your channel or will be deleted. Okay, now we're updating our first video. What do we do? Well, click on that button which is highlighted where it says on your profile picture. Okay, and what's an introductory video? What does it supposed to actually consist of? Remember, we talk of this introductory video has been very important. It's the first video where people are actually going to identify you as a YouTuber, as a content creator. They're going to say, what does this person actually do? Why do I like this person? Okay, so you introduce yourself to your potential audience. I like Glory's favorite line, "Hi guys, so great." Introducing your potential content. What exactly are you offering your subscribers or your viewers? What is it? What is it they want to actually listen to? Aim of the channel? Well, you know what you want to do. Is it going to be a gossip channel? Is it going to be an educational channel? Is it going to be an informative channel? Make sure that you tell your audience. Okay? Your introductory video should be one of the first videos you focus on, and it will help your growth. Because trust me, even though Glory's actually hit 100K subscribers, I'm sure she's still getting users who are actually going to actually watch her introductory video. And, there's been quite a few comments on that, video saying, oh my gosh, I like you for being frank if they haven't actually changed from day one. It just shows that you're giving people the content, they're subscribing to. All right, so channel video section. So this is how to upload. Okay, so you click on the left hand side. There's a video section there. You click on that button. You get this upload videos highlighted in the red square. You click on that. Okay, and then you get a screen here which actually says select the files you want to upload. So you know where your video file is that you want to upload. Click on that select file button. Okay, and basically what happens is you actually get this interface here. You get this interface here which says, okay, for the very first thing, I need to give it a title and I need to give it a description. I need to upload a thumbnail, and this is where that custom enablement of the thumbnail comes in. Okay, now for the title and description, it's very important that you use certain keywords to describe. I mean, I've seen so many people saying, as a title, how I went to the market today. Yeah, okay, it's a nice title. You can actually have that as a title, but that's not going to help YouTube to actually share your videos to potential subscribers. How I went to the market today doesn't tell YouTube anything. YouTube needs to realize that, hold on a second, I'm basing my search on certain keywords to actually offer. So what would I actually put it as a title or as in a description? There's keywords you would need to actually understand. There's certain keywords, things like Nigeria. Nigeria is a keyword because it's very sort of like focused. Anybody who puts Nigeria in YouTube will know that they're looking for something about Nigeria. Lagos is another keyword. I'm looking about some information about Lagos. Keywords is very important when you're actually creating your titles. Now you can put something like this: Lagos market, colon, or if you want to drill it down to what actual market you went to, you can say Yaba market, colon, how I enjoyed my trip to the market, something like that. So Yaba market now is now a keyword because YouTube knows about Yaba market or YouTube knows about Lagos market. So whenever anybody is looking for anything to do with Lagos market, your video is going to pop up. And to be honest with you, that is how your video actually kind of gets traction. That is how YouTube actually pushes your video to the potential subscribers. Now, they would actually push your video out there. But then again, it depends on your thumbnail. If your thumbnail doesn't make an impression on whoever YouTube is actually send that thumbnail to, it's going to hurt you as a content creator, because someone will look at the browse feed and go through and say, when you just put a picture, someone will look at the picture and just start scrolling through. It doesn't tell them anything. But on that thumbnail, if you put something like, I went to Yaba Market and this is what happened, that thumbnail comes up. They're going to look at that and say, oh, okay, this is kind of interesting. Let me see what this is all about. And they're more likely to click on that thumbnail than actually putting anything on that thumbnail. That's the difference between someone who is making an effort with YouTube and someone who is not. Because YouTube would say, okay, I'm going to, listen, I've got 1 trillion, million, whatever users in the world. I need to make this visible to certain people. And when I do make it visible, what's likely to happen? Because listen, it's not only about you making money on YouTube. YouTube also wants to make money. Remember, YouTube is making money from the people who's paying for advertisement on the YouTube platform. And what they want is they want content creators whereby people are always engaging on their content. If your content is not engaging, YouTube is not going to push it. Why should they? If they're not going to make any money off it. Okay, so your title and description, those two things, and your thumbnail are 3 of the most important things on that video that you need to make sure that you get right. Otherwise, it's a start of failure for you. Very, very important. Okay. All right. So as you're uploading your videos now, come back to the same question. Is this for kids? No, it's not. Or yes, it is. You make that option. And then at the very bottom, you've got tags. Tags is also just basically guiding people about what your content is all about. So here, if we're talking of Lagos market, we can put Nigeria as a tag, Lagos as a tag, Lagos market as a tag, Yaba market as a tag, Yaba Lagos market as a tag. Okay? You're guiding YouTube to say someone is search on this particular topic, help me, because I've got this content which might one of the potential subscribers might engage with. This is how you're actually helping YouTube. Okay. All right. So the next thing is we move on to the category. And category is also very important because it basically tells you what sort of users do you want to push this information, your video content to. Yeah. And the default is always people and blogs. People and blogs is people like me and you. We do vlog. But there's also entertainment. There's also news and politics. There's quite a few other options. Identify who your audience are, who you're trying to send, what sort of audience you're trying to capture. And in this category section, that would help you. Okay, so please don't be lazy. Don't leave it as a default. Always experiment with what works and what doesn't work. Okay. All right, we move on to the next one. Then here, nothing to as a new content creator. You can just leave this as default. This is all about adding your end screen or your cards. This is like when someone's watching the video and you're trying to tell towards the end of the video, you're trying to get other people to watch your other content. Because to be honest with you, that's actually how you're going to be pushing your content. So when your video, upload your latest video, and then towards the end, you say, oh, by the way, don't forget, I've got this, which I actually talked about, how I went to Yaba Market. Guys, click on this link. I'm sure you enjoy the content as you've enjoyed this one that I'm currently presenting. And this is where you actually put that information in. Okay. And then finally, this is the button whereby it's the visibility button, whereby do I now want to make it visible to the public by clicking on public and clicking on save? Or do I first of all want to review the video, make some changes before I then make it public? I always advise you to make it private first. Review the video, okay, make necessary changes, and then you can click on public later on. But after this, once you get the visibility section, you click on private and you then click on the save button, okay? And then the screen brings you back to this. So now you've got your first video, yeah? How do I go back and edit it so I can put it back on public? Well, see where that square pencil button is, you click on that. That's to actually edit the video that you've actually just uploaded, okay? Once you click on that, you get the screen. And as you can see, you can change your title. If you're not happy with the title, you can change the description. You can upload another thumbnail if you're not happy with it. You can add additional end screen or cards on the right-hand side. You know, you can do all these things before you actually make it public. And how you make it public, you see that red button at the very bottom where I've actually squared. You click on it and it says change it from private to public, and then click on done. And then congratulations, you've uploaded your first video. Clap for yourself. And then what do you do after that? You now share your videos to your social media friends and families or social media platforms using that link which says video link. Copy that link, click on the two paper soft clip buttons that will copy the link for you and share it out to your community.